Hey everyone and welcome. Today, we are tackling a big one, the Intelligence Bureau Security Assistant Exam syllabus. We're going to crack it wide open, break it all down, and give you a super clear blueprint for success.
So, have you taken one look at that huge list of topics and felt, well, a little overwhelmed? Trust me, you are not alone. It's a massive syllabus, and it's totally normal to wonder where on earth you should even begin.
But here's the secret. That whole intimidating list, it can be neatly sorted into just 4 key domains. Seriously. If you focus on mastering these 4 areas, you're putting yourself on the direct path to acing this exam.
So here's our game plan. We're going to walk through each of these 4 domains, one by one. And then we'll wrap it all up with a final mission brief to get you started on your prep.
All right, let's dive right in with domain number 1, general awareness.
The best way to think about this section is to split it in 2. On one hand, it tests your foundational knowledge. You know, the kind of stuff that doesn't really change. And on the other hand, it tests whether you're paying attention to what's happening in the world right now.
First up, we have that static knowledge. Think of this as the bedrock. It covers facts like geography, basic economics, and key national landmarks. The goal here is to build a solid base of information that you can always rely on. And then you've got the dynamic part, which is all about what's happening now. Keeping up with current events, new government projects, and recent awards is absolutely critical. It shows you're actually engaged with the world around you.
Okay, next up is domain 2. We're shifting gears from world facts into the world of numbers with quantitative aptitude.
Now, don't let that fancy name scare you. This domain is really all about solving problems with numbers. It's a test of how fast you are, how accurate you are, and if you can apply math concepts when the clock is ticking. You're going to see a real mix here. Everything from the basics like number systems to practical stuff like profit and loss, and even more advanced concepts like probability. But don't get distracted by the variety. What's really being tested is your solid foundation in core math. Okay, let's look at a classic point of confusion. Simple versus compound interest. With simple interest, the growth is linear, right? It's always based on that original amount. But with compound interest, you start earning interest on top of your interest. That's why its growth is exponential. Nailing this difference is going to save you a ton of time.
Moving on to our third domain, logical reasoning. This one is less about what you know and way more about how you think.
This is where you get to put on your detective hat. Seriously, this section is all about your ability to analyze clues, spot patterns, and draw solid conclusions. It's a skill that's absolutely vital for any role in intelligence. So, what kinds of puzzles are we talking about? Well, you'll see everything from mapping out complex seating charts and family trees, to cracking codes, navigating directions, and digging into statements to find those hidden assumptions. Each one is a mini test of your analytical brain.
Now, here's something you've got to know. Reasoning is tested in 2 main ways. You've got verbal reasoning, which uses words, puzzles based on analogies and statements. And then you have nonverbal reasoning, which is all visual, testing your ability to see patterns in shapes and images. You need to be sharp in both.
And that brings us to our final core domain, number 4, the English language.
Let's be clear. This is not just a grammar test. It's about your overall command of the English language. Can you understand what you're reading? Can you express your ideas clearly? And can you use vocabulary and grammar to communicate effectively?
Your proficiency here is really built on 4 pillars. It starts with your vocabulary, moves on to the rules of grammar, then the architecture of how sentences are built, and finally, ties it all together with comprehension, things like filling in the blanks in a passage. Master these, and you're set.
Okay, so now you have the full intel on all 4 domains. It's time for the final step, your mission brief for turning all this knowledge into action.
Don't just stare at the syllabus, let's make a plan. It's simple. First, figure out your strengths and weaknesses. Second, pick one domain to start with and build some momentum. Third, make a study schedule you can actually stick to. And finally, practice with mock tests.
The syllabus isn't a mystery anymore. It's a map. So the only question left is, where are you going to start? Decide on your first target and begin your mission. Good luck.